For more on the NATO offensive in Afghanistan, we're joined by Brian Katulis, a senior fellow with the Center for American Progress in Washington. Thank you very much for joining us on the program.
You're welcome.
What is the strategic significance of the assault on Marja?
Well, Marja is important because it's in the Helmand province, and this province is one of the largest narcotics producers in the world, and narcotics fuels the Taliban insurgency. So this operation strategically is aimed at breaking the backbone, the financial backbone of the Taliban insurgency, and proving to Afghan citizens that there's an alternative to the Taliban, that there's a viable Afghan government.
As we heard in that earlier report, much has been made of the Afghan army's involvement in this operation. Do these forces have the capability to hold any gains once NATO forces leave? Do NATO forces have the ability to hold and build in this area?
Well, that's, I think, the question that will only be answered in a matter of weeks or perhaps even months. The Afghan security forces have been reported to be very uneven in their ability to perform security operations. They lack certain things that we have, like logistical support, equipment, certain types of arms. So they haven't done well over the last 8 years. And the ultimate test will be whether, in the next few months, they will be able to hold this area and then be able to allow the Afghan government to build and provide basic services and things like justice to ordinary Afghan citizens. And that remains to be seen.
And I'd like to ask you about this widely reported quote. General McChrystal said that the coalition has a government in a box ready to roll in once Marja is taken. What does he mean by that? And do you think that this strategy is going to work?
Well, I think what General McChrystal's trying to say there is that this is not simply just a military operation where insurgents and fighters are cleared, that are either captured or killed, that there's going to be follow-through in building local government and building the sorts of things like court systems that provide justice to the Afghan people. I think it's a great idea in concept. Translating that into reality is easier said than done. And I think what we've seen in the past couple of years in Afghanistan are serious concerns about the legitimacy of the Afghan government. I saw this when I was in Afghanistan last year for the elections that ended up being very flawed elections. So talking about a government in a box is fine and well to do, but in reality there are questions of legitimacy and whether these governing institutions will be viewed as legitimate by the Afghan people and whether they'll actually perform and provide the basic services, law and order, and justice to the Afghan people. That is the ultimate test.
Okay, Brian Katulis, thank you very much for joining us from Washington.
Thank you. Thanks.